ハラリさんはイスラエル人当事者として、そして歴史学者として歴史を見てきたと思います。今回のハマスによるテロ攻撃ですけれども、それぞれの立場から今回のことをどのように受け止めていらっしゃいますか。
The terrorists not only intentionally attacked civilians, they tortured and killed them in the most horrendous ways they could think of, and then publicized it. And the aim was to sow seeds of hatred in the minds of millions of people in Israel and the whole region. The main problem is that instead of healing the past injuries, people are using past injuries in order to justify inflicting more injuries. We need to look to the future and to find some way for future peace. At the present moment, it looks almost impossible, but I don't think it is impossible in the long run, because, 80 years ago, Jews were massacred in their millions by the Germans, by the Nazis, and today Germans and Jews are good friends.
ただ、歴史学者であり、物事を冷静に分析するハラリ氏も、今は憎悪で自分を見失いそうになるそうです。
Again, because this is something that has hit very hard my own family and my own friends, and it's not just my country, it's really very close friends and family who have suffered terribly, still suffering. So I don't think that I can be objective at the present moment. For people who are inside this sea, this ocean of pain, our minds are now so filled with pain that we are unable to feel the pain, to see the pain of anybody else, and to sympathize with it.
それゆえに未来を左右するのはイスラエル人でもパレスチナ人でもない第三者の言動だと強調しました。
Again, I urge people who are watching this interview, for instance, to also watch interviews with Palestinians, with people who present different perspectives, but also to be very, very careful about what you believe and not to rush to conclusions. They think that you are either just a victim or you're either just a perpetrator. And this is almost never the case in history. The same people, the same nation can be both victim and perpetrator at the same time. Just picking a side and saying that 100% justice and 100% purity is on one side and 100% evil is on the other side. People who search for absolute justice, this just leads to inevitable conflict because then they are not willing to compromise on anything. Unfortunately, they neglected any attempt to make serious peace with the Palestinians for more than 10 years now. They adopted more and more extreme positions with regard to the Israeli occupation. They adopted sometimes a racist worldview with regard to the Palestinians. And this was a huge error. And in many parts of the world, people now talk about the need to build walls, to build barriers. We need to build also a wall between our mind and our mouth. We don't have control over the thoughts and emotions that pop up in our minds. But we do have control over what we say, but at least have control of what you say and write and do. Always ask yourself, what kind of seeds are you spreading in the world? What kind of seeds are you planting in people's minds? Are you planting seeds of hatred and violence, or seeds of compassion and reconciliation?
最悪の事態を迎えそうな今、大事なのは心にスペースを持つこと。当事者たちにはできないことだからです。
私たち日本 にいる者たちができること、ハラリさんから見てどんなことがありますか？
I think the main thing is, first of all, to use your power, political, economic, cultural, to de-escalate the conflict and prevent its further spread. To send humanitarian aid to the people who are suffering. And maybe most important, to preserve space for peace. Whenever anybody talks about the pain of anyone else but us, we feel outraged. We feel betrayed. How can you talk about anything except my pain, except our pain? It's so terrible. And in this situation, there is no space for peace. So, we kind of, as we are immersed in this sea of pain, we give you the space for peace that we cannot hold in our minds right now. And please take good care of it so that sometime in the future we can inhabit this space of peace.
歴史学者として世界的に知られるハラリーさんですけれども、やっぱり客観的な視点が求められる歴史家としての面と、そしてやっぱりハマスの行為を憎むイスラエル人としての自分自身との間で苦しんでいるようにも見えましたね。
本当ですね。もともとは非常に冷静な方なんですけれども、そのハラリさんですら絶望の中でも本当自分を見失いかけていたという状況でした。それでも歴史学者として振り絞る言葉に本当に深い意味と価値を感じました。
イスラエル政府がハマスを滅ぼすしかないという断固した態度で言い切るのは、それがイスラエルにとっての正義だから、そう位置づけているからだと思うんですけれども、ハラルさんおっしゃっていたどちらかが絶対的な正義なんていうことはないんだということをおっしゃっていましたけれども、だとすればですね、決してイスラエルの行動決断だけが正義ではないと思うんですね。
もはや被害者であり加害者であるということもハラリさんおっしゃってましたね。
我々はイスラエルの人たちの痛みというものにできるだけ寄り添いながら、だけれども今必要なのはやっぱり停戦をし、人道的危機を止めることではないのか、その平和というスペースに住んでいる日本のような国だからこそ言うべきことなのではないかということも感じました。
テレビ朝日夜のニュース番組をスマホでもTVer で生配信しています。